I mean, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a top guy, most of you would have heard of him, a highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug. And he called me up and he said, President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President, so that's nice respect, but he's a rough guy, smart guy. President, could I ask you a question? What? I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said, I just paid $88, and in New York I pay $1,300. What the hell is going on? You can have, within a period of weeks, you can have drug costs that drop like a rock, okay? So you, as a group, I have great confidence, and if you don't do it, I am firing every single one of you. Good luck, guys. All right? Can you handle it?
Breaking news, Elon Musk's departure from DOGE is official. The farewell address was issued by Trump in this clip. And see what kind gesture Trump does upon Elon's exit from DOGE.
He had to go through the slings and the arrows, which is a shame because he's an incredible patriot. The good news is that 90% of the country knows that, and they appreciate it, and they really appreciate what he did. And I gave him a little special something we have here.
Thank you.
A very special that I give to very special people. I have given it to some, but it goes to very special people, and I thought I'd give it to Elon as a presentation from our country.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elon.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you. You see the lock. The lock on this is amazing.
That's right. Large lock.
Well, let me say perhaps a few words. That this is not the end of DOGE, but really the beginning. My time as a special government employee necessarily had to end. It was a limited time thing. It's 134 days, I believe, which ends in a few days. So that it comes with a time limit. But the DOGE team will only grow stronger over time. The DOGE influence will only grow stronger. It's I liken it to sort of Buddhism. It's like a way of life.
Breaking news, Trump has issued pardons for NBA YoungBoy and several others. You won't believe who got off during clemency. Let's check how CNN feels about the situation.
President Trump has been on an outright pardon spree here at the White House in the last several days, pardoning the reality TV star couple known as the Chrisleys, who are expected to leave prison any day now, in addition to a former New York Congressman, Michael Grimm, the former Connecticut Governor, John Rowland, who was convicted not once but twice in federal crimes. Also, the rapper known as NBA YoungBoy, who was convicted in a federal gun crimes case. And the president has also taken his step and used his power to not just issue a slew of pardons, but also he's commuting several sentences as well, including that of Larry Hoover, who was that notorious gang leader in Chicago. Now, every president has the right to pardon whomever they want, and we've certainly seen President Trump's predecessors do that. And President Trump started using his on day one. But what's notable is how early on in his term we're seeing him issue all of these pardons.
In other news, Representative Anna Paulina Luna looks into the conviction of Tory Lanez. For more on the story, let's see how she describes the incident to Chris Cuomo on News Nation.
Here's the story. They're at the party. After the party, they get into an argument. Lanez tells Megan Thee Stallion, dance, and shoots at her feet like a cowboy movie, hits her. Proof? Testimony of Megan Thee Stallion, her friend Kelsey Harris, and DNA evidence on the weapon that convinced jurors to convict. Pretty simple, right? Maybe not. Turns out that DNA, only a 0.01% chance that the DNA is from Lanez. He's always maintained his innocence. He was sentenced to 10 years, so this is really about the testimony. So he goes away, recently stabbed 14 times in prison. Many say it was a hit, okay? Because new evidence is about to come out. Lanez supporters believe that the media doesn't care because Megan Thee Stallion is represented by Jay-Z's Rock Nation. This just wasn't a case on my radar until now. Why? Anna Paulina Luna. She is a representative from... She says she's got new evidence, says it wasn't him. And she joins us now. Representative APL, it's good to have you.
Thanks, Chris. Happy to be back on. And thanks for taking a look at this case.
No, listen, you tell me to take a look at it, I'll look at it. But why did you look at it? I mean, this isn't your jurisdiction. I don't know you to have any connection to any of these people.
Yeah, so as you know, we are on oversight and accountability. And so this case was actually initially flagged for me by Amber Rose. And the reason why I took particular interest in it is because of the fact that they actually had evidence that they presented to me in my office that actually disproved the conviction. So as you stated earlier, that 0.01% of DNA, they actually found 4 people's DNA on that firearm, none of which was Tory's. Not to mention there was 0 fingerprints on the actual magazine. And also, too, as you said, 0.01% chance. I mean, that evidence in itself should pretty much speak for itself. Also, there's been ring footage that's been obtained that actually disproves the whole dance, Megan. And so what we're seeing is really there was a case of he said, she said. The evidence wasn't actually respected and properly adhered to actually in the trial. And then they also were doing something that I would find pretty wild and egregious. They were actually submitting his lyrics for rap as evidence to the crime. So look, first and foremost, you have to have a free and fair society. That means we need to respect and uphold the justice system. So I actually reached out today to Gavin Newsom's office, and we are requesting an emergency meeting. We're also working with other Democrats, specifically to the California delegation. But I think that this is something that's pretty egregious, that the way that this was handled, the way that it was. I think that it was largely driven by headlines. And aside from the people involved and the parties involved. Obviously, I take domestic violence, I take this very seriously, Chris, but I also take very seriously the fact that I do believe, based on the evidence that I've seen, that Tory's innocent. And I think that it sets a really bad message when you have someone of his stature and also to someone that is as influential as he is that's being wrongfully incarcerated. And that's exactly why we wanted to use our megaphone for a good reason and help get him his pardon, which I think
she
he'll
says, and her friends say that he did it. And who else would have done it? And what proof do you have to support that? I get it. Maybe they didn't make the case the right way with the weapon, but who did it?
You know, Chris, that's not for me to weigh in, and that's definitely for the judge and the jury. But what I will tell you is based on the evidence that we have, the evidence that we have says that he wasn't the guy. And so I do think that Gavin Newsom has some great attorneys that will look at this. But I'd also like to point out that the prosecutor specifically on this case that initially brought the charges is a very interesting prosecutor. Look into who ran him. And at the end of the day, you know, I think Hollywood, as you know, Chris, in politics does overlap. And there's a lot of interesting stuff that happened there. So look at the evidence for yourself. We've posted it for the entire world to see, to determine for themselves. And I know that Tory's legal team actually has an incredible case. And so we are calling on Gavin Newsom to issue that pardon immediately. And also remember, he was almost killed in jail. I actually talked to him today on the phone. And he said that once he does get out, once he does get this pardon, which I do feel confident that he'll be getting, he's going to work extensively in prison reform because this should never happen to anyone.
The evidence is mounting in favor of Tory Lanez, and it seems as though Megan Thee Stallion is running out of luck. We'll see how this investigation is handled, and let's see if the results get reversed when the truth comes to light. If you get value from this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss these regular updates. It really helps out the channel. Also, support the channel. Buy us a cup of coffee. Anything that you donate, support is deeply appreciated. And for those on TikTok, don't forget to like, share, and add this video to your favorites. Share it with a friend. It would deeply appreciate it. Which leads us to the next story. Trump's OMB director discusses codifying DOGE cuts with Congress when they go back into session on Monday or Tuesday of next week. For more on the story, let's see him discuss it with Kudlow.
So, rumor has it that we got a big rescission package, an Elon Musk DOGE rescission package coming up. Can you confirm it?
I can. We'll be sending that up on Monday or Tuesday whenever the House is back in session. They will get our first rescissions bill. And again, this has been proposed and we've talked about it. We want to make sure that Congress passes its first rescissions bill, including the DOGE, and we will send more if they pass it. And so this is the first one is foreign aid, USAID cuts, many of the waste and garbage that was funding not only wasteful but hurting our foreign policy, but also the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and NPR. We'll be sending that up and we're working with Congress. And we've had good conversations to make sure that they knew what was coming. They had some input as to changes that could be made to make it something that could pass the House. And we're excited for that to occur next week.
The director of the Economic Council, Hassett, said there's more than one way to reenact the tariffs after the higher court blocked the tariffs. Let's see how he describes the ways that the executive branch can reenact
the U.S. Trade Court ruling that most of Donald Trump's global tariffs are illegal, agreeing that he wrongfully invoked emergency laws to justify the levy.
Does this ruling from these judges put a crimp in anything that you're working on currently?
No, it doesn't at all. We'll have to get the Jameson out here, who's the trade lawyer, to go through the play-by-play. But if we put our eyes on the horizon, that what's going to happen is that in a month or two, you're going to look ahead and see that countries have opened their markets to American products. They've lowered their non-tariff barriers. They've lowered their tariffs. And all of the countries that have done that are being treated very respectfully and well by the U.S. The countries that don't do that are going to see some form of reciprocal tariff that's higher than what the people who are acting well get. And that's what you're going to see on the horizon. And if there are little hiccups here or there because of decisions that activist judges make, then it shouldn't just concern you at all. And it's certainly not going to affect the negotiations, because in the end, people know President Trump is 100% serious. And they also have seen that President Trump always wins.
One court giveth, one court taketh away. As soon as the trade court struck down Trump's tariffs, the federal appeals court gives them back. Let's take a look at this clip and see how the federal appeals court handed Trump another win.
President Trump's sweeping tariffs are back on thanks to a ruling by a federal appeals court. It comes after the U.S. Court of International Trade threatened to stop or delay most of the reciprocal and baseline tariffs announced earlier this year.
We're very pleased with the ruling. We expected it. The bottom line is that our U.S. Trade Representative, Jamieson Greer, is the best trade thinker in the business, that President Trump's case is ironclad, and the appeals court took almost no time at all. In fact, we're surprised it took till the end of the day for them to overturn this previous ruling. The bottom line is that President Trump's trade team has their eyes on the horizon. They understand that we've got to make America great again by making trade deals fair, by advantaging U.S. producers and U.S. farmers when they sell things in foreign markets, and leveling the playing field at home for foreign products that are brought here. And so this is a big victory for the president. And I just got to say that you also can see, if you just look at the data, that President Trump's vision is working, that we've received $50 to $60 billion in tariff revenue since we've started the tariffs. Inflation has gone down. In fact, if you think about it, the automakers for foreign auto companies are running ads saying they're not going to increase prices. So it's working exactly the way we thought, and we're very pleased with the decision today.
Honestly, if the American people elected Trump to serve his agenda, the judicial branch has no business trying to impede on his agenda. They elected Trump. They didn't elect the judges. They need to stop impeding on his agenda and doing what's right for the American people in terms of fair trade. That's my opinion. Let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. For all the stumbling, bumbling, and fumbling that Biden has done over the years, I'm surprised he would want to do a speech again at all. Let's see exactly how this monstrosity of a speech took place.
I'm serious about this. I'm not joking. And folks, our politics has become, as I said, so divided. They wear the uniform of the United States of America. The only nation in the world, literally, not figuratively, the only nation in the world founded on an idea. An idea. Every nation was founded on geography, ethnicity, some unifying principle, but not an idea. The idea of America was founded on, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal, endowed by the Creator with certain inalienable rights, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We meant it. That's who we are. That's what makes America the most unique nation in the world, literally, not figuratively.
When Biden was confronted about his health issues and his mental issues by a reporter, he had this to say with regard to the rumors that have been going on about it.
And there's also been a lot of discussion recently about your mental and physical capabilities while you were in office.
You can see that. I'm mentally incompetent, and I can't walk, and I could beat the hell out of both of them.
Well, do you want to reply to any of those reports, and also to the fact that there are some Democrats who are now questioning whether you should have run for re-election in the first place?
Why didn't they run against me then?
Do you have any regrets?
No, I don't. Look, we have a lot going on.
Which brings me to the question of this video. Do you feel as though Congress is earnest in their attempts to make DOGE cuts permanent, to codify them, to find ways that even if they're not using rescission, to make them permanent and to save $1 trillion worth of waste, fraud, and abuse for the American taxpayer. Let me know if you think they'll come through in the comment section below. In case you missed it, there was a big announcement by President Trump, and Senator Kennedy found out something that's very troubling about Biden in the 76 days that he was still president before Trump became president. If you missed all that, don't worry about it because the video is right here.